All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour, where the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is presently in New Delhi. And he'll also be holding some pretty high-level meetings throughout the day today, with the focus being on boosting bilateral ties with India. Blinken will be meeting with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also with India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Now remember, this of course is his very first visit to India after the Biden administration took charge. In the month of March earlier this year, the US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin had visited India. In April, the US Special Envoy on Climate Change and the former presidential candidate John Kerry was also in India. And right after the US State Secretary's arrival, the US State Department has also issued a fact sheet on India and the United States, deepening their strategic partnership. Now, this fact sheet focuses on areas such as Indo-Pacific, deterring common adversaries, as it states it, combating the COVID-19 pandemic and also the climate crisis. A number of crucial issues will of course come up for discussion during the course of Blinken's visit, and the fallout of the US troop pullout from Afghanistan and the impact of the territorial gains made by the Taliban will of course dominate discussions. Now, Pakistan-sponsored terrorism and Indo-Pacific cooperation will also be on the agenda. The two sides are expected to explore ways and means to deepen the collaboration on defense, and this of course will cover policy exchanges, exercises, defense transfers and technologies. Now, India and the United States are also likely to take the Quad vaccine initiative forward. Now, this, of course, is an initiative to enable the supply of vaccines produced in India from early 2022 to countries in the Indo-Pacific region. India, for its part, has vaccinated about 7% of its population in about 7 months. A top US government official, Dean Thompson, has said that Blinken and Austin look forward to hosting their Indian counterparts in the annual US-India 2+2 ministerial dialogue later this year. And also India's ambassador to the United States, Taranjeet Singh Sandhu, will also be participating in the high-level meetings. And WION's Siddhant Sibil, who's been tracking this story very closely for us, has sent us this report. Listen in.
Well, today is the main day of engagement of US Secretary of State Blinken here in Delhi. He will be holding talks with the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar at around noon. This is the fourth in-person meeting between both the foreign affairs ministers. We know they have already met on the sidelines of the G7 foreign ministers meeting in London. Then, of course, the bilateral visit of EM to US and also the G20 foreign ministers meeting in Italy. During the conversation, the key focus will be on Indo-Pacific, on Quad, on the vaccine initiative and undoubtedly Afghanistan. We know that when it comes to the support by Pakistan to international terror groups, that remains a top concern for New Delhi, and India is going to ask United States to make sure that there is a sustained pressure on Islamabad to act on these terror groups. We know that earlier this month, in fact, at the Uzbekistan Connectivity Summit, the Afghan President Ashraf Ghani had publicly slammed the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan for Islamabad's continued support to Taliban, and that, of course, is a worry for Kabul as well.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.